I'm going to summarize our Sunday morning sermon in English for our growing children. Today is the last session of the Nehemiah. From next Sunday, we are going to learn from the book and Gospel of John. So I encourage you to read it through the Gospel of John to understand the God's message better. Let me just summarize our message today. The rebuilding the world is not a purpose, but a project to fulfill the purpose. That's the key message. When you buy a container, the container is good, but container has clear purpose to put something in it. That is why you buy container. The container is good and important, yet container itself without a content is a useless way to buy it. Rebuilding the world, that's what Nehemiah was focused on and committed to. He finished this rebuilding project within 52 days. When you finish up one very important thing, you want to take a break and pause. But Nehemiah didn't stop working because rebuilding the world itself is not a purpose. That is kind of container to fulfill a bigger purpose. That is two things, rebuilding people and rebuilding worship. That is why God called Nehemiah to rebuild the wall in Jerusalem. So he finished up this project, but that is a project, not purpose. So right after completing the building project, rebuilding the wall, he continued to push forward these two purposes, rebuilding people and rebuilding worship. That is the conclusion of this whole sermon series. You have project, you have things that you plan for. Those things are not necessarily bad. These are all great things. But without knowing true purpose, you could reverse this project or plan with God-given purpose. Why are you making more money to please God? If you have that purpose, making more money will be good thing. But if you put making more money as your life goal, that will be very useless purpose in your life. So right now, God is always teaching us, you have to remember God is the center of your life. That is what we call worship. There are many definitions of worship, but from the Nehemiah, worship is kind of tuning. When you play instrument, the first thing you are doing before concert is tuning. You have some absolute tune, you are tuning those instruments into standard. Worship is like a tuning process. You have, up tune. When you worship God, you have standpoint, absolute standpoint to be tuned by God weekly and hopefully daily. So we continue to be tuned by God, and God is speaking to us. You have always a danger of self-centeredness. If you put your project and your plan as your life purpose, that's going to be very in big trouble. Like Nehemiah, always remember project becomes a purpose. Rebuilding people, rebuilding worship. So self-centeredness is always a consequence of sin. I-centered life. My life, I, me. That's generation that we are living in. So you have to remember, let God be the center of your life. So God should be the center. So I'm following God, I'm trusting God, I'm obeying God by giving up my way, by giving up my kingdom, by giving up my will. That is what Nehemiah did right after rebuilding the wall. rebuilding the worship, rebuilding the people. Rebuilding the world is what we need to do each and every day. Please be a blessing to people around you so that they are rebuilt by God through you. Be a genuine worshiper before God so that you are here to please God. That is the conclusion of the book of Nehemiah. I hope that is going to be the very important lesson to you each and every day.